In the film Batman the Killing Joke, we get a rather explicit scene of Batman and Batgirl making love atop a rooftop. Well, semi-explicit, but it was certainly a lot more than anyone was expecting to see, and it's raised the question, who else has Barbara Gordon slept with? Well, you're about to find out. Now, with the pre-mentioned scene, some people think that this pairing is rather perverted and weird because they see Batman as a father figure or mentor and that he's abusing the position. Now, personally, I don't really see the problem. After all, he didn't mentor her from a very young age, she was pretty well grown up and certainly not a child. And when they do have sex, she's a grown woman who's capable of making her own decisions. So I think she's perfectly entitled to sleep with him if she wants to. Although, since she's also dated Batman's adopted son, Dick Grayson, I do still think it's a bit weird, and really he should have said no, if for nothing else than the fact that Dick Grayson's not going to want to ever talk to him ever again.
I volunteered.
You think you did? You don't know him like I do. He manipulates, pulls strings, anything to get what he wants.
It's also not the first time we found out they were lovers. It was also revealed that Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon were a couple in the TV show Batman Beyond.
Chose to stay behind with Bruce.
As his partner. His girlfriend? Whoa.
Both that show and the movie Batman the Killing Joke had Bruce Timm on the creative team, so it's not really a big surprise and as out of the blue as some people have made it out to be. In fact, Batman even got Barbara pregnant in the Batman Beyond 2.0 comic book series. A link to my video explaining this issue can be found in this video's description. Next on her list is Nightwing, Dick Grayson. They dated on the TV show Batman the Animated Series and were also lovers on the show Young Justice, as was revealed in the Young Justice tie-in comic book series, in which Barbara Gordon arrives at Dick Grayson's house on the night of his birthday to take him up to his apartment and give him his present, which presumably she does every year. In the Arkham game series, it's also revealed that Tim Drake and Barbara Gordon have been dating, and in the end of Batman Arkham Knight, they are also married, and since a marriage has to be consummated, that means they've also slept together.
You know, technically this is still our honeymoon, Barb. We should be on a beach.
Though being Robin and Oracle of course keeps them pretty busy, especially since in that video game Batman is out of the picture at this point.
Let's get this sack of crap back to GCPD.
We're not getting to that beach, are we?
I think the honeymoon's over, Barb.
So far there doesn't seem to be much going on between Jason Todd, the Red Hood, and Batgirl, though in the Batman Eternal series, Jason gets close to admitting that he has feelings for her, but he loses his nerve at the last minute. Basically, he has a crush on her, and has for years, but he doesn't think that he's good enough for her, and he doesn't want to get involved with her because he thinks, basically, he'll bring her down. Though it would seem likely for the two of them to eventually get together. After all, she certainly likes Robins. Outside of the Bat family, there was a romance with Jason Ward, a detective who worked under her father at the Gotham City Police Department. He later suffered a gunshot wound that caused him to leave the police, and he had to change careers and become a private investigator. And at one point he was actually engaged to Barbara, but she called it off before the wedding day. It's later revealed that she called it off because of the fact that she was crippled. Whether she didn't think she was worthy or she just couldn't face him, it's not made apparently clear, but she called it off all the same, so obviously wasn't the one for her. And that's really all that can be said about him. To be honest with you, he wasn't really the most interesting of characters. In the Batman Beyond TV series, we find out that not only has Batgirl had a relationship with Batman, but that she also ended up marrying a man in the DA's office, called Sam. Not a lot is known about him, except that he's raised in the ranks to the District Attorney office after being lower down when she actually met him, and that Barbara Gordon is happily married to him, and as far as we know, the two stay together for the rest of their lives.
You warm enough, hon?
Well, Sam, I'm never cold. You know that.
My warm-blooded wife.
And those are all of the lovers that have been made apparent in the comics, TV series and movies, though more will likely come out in the future of course, as new writers take over and add to her character. But the real question is, who would be best for the current version of Batgirl to be with? Now, most want her to end up with Nightwing, and though I do think that's her best choice to end up with, I would really like to see a romance between Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd. Though it would most likely be doomed, they do have a lot in common. After all, they're both strong characters who had horrific things done to them by the Joker.
We don't want him to end up back here, do we?
No, we don't, Daddy. I want to keep him forever.
No, no, please, no, no!
and then had to rise above them. And they both have fiery and passionate personalities, all of which would make it very interesting to watch them interact with each other. But who would you most like to see Barbara Gordon with? Be sure to let us know in the comments, along with any lovers you think that may have not been mentioned in this list. And finally, a thank you to all of you who have donated to the Needle Mouse Production Patreon page. For those who don't know, Patreon is a crowdfunding site that helps creators to make more content, and if you'd like to contribute to helping us make more videos, there is a link in this video's description where you can learn more. And as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.